generating as big of a buzz as Mercedes Moné.
I think it's time.
Wednesday, March 13th will be AEW Big Business live in Boston. A night that the entire pro wrestling industry will remember.
Money.
Mercedes Moné. Dynamite will be held in Boston's TD Garden. Mercedes Moné is headed to AEW. Where does Mercedes end up? No female wrestler is generating as big of a buzz as Mercedes Moné.
I think it's time.
Wednesday, March 13th will be AEW Big Business live in Boston.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, all right? Make sure you log it in and you remember to check out my good friends over at the Broken Table Podcast live on YouTube. These are some of my good friends. They have some of the best topics going on. They're talking about a lot of good things. And also, they like to put over the Prince Nana dance. Hey, I swerve and I drive. I swerve and I drive. Hey. Don't forget, tune in, log on to the Broken Tables Podcast live on YouTube, my friends.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas. Here going solo tonight. Rome is out doing some birthday party, Valentine's Day type stuff. Man, I got to apologize to one Matt Taven for all of the negative stuff I have said about him over the years, if any. This main event of Dynamite was incredible. I absolutely loved that main event here on Dynamite tonight. I loved the whole show here on Dynamite. This was a fantastic Dynamite coming out of Austin, Texas. Let's say what's up to everybody in chat real quick before we get into the review. We got Young Macho. We got the Day Trading Doge. We got Queen Nat. Welcome, everybody. Nat says, insane match. Never thought I'd say that about a Matt Taven match. Nat, you and I both. I was blown away that Matt Taven, literally changed my mind on him in one match. So, what up, Michael Duke? Just wow. What a great main event that was. But let's go ahead and get started here. The first match of the night was Jon Moxley versus Dax Harwood. This is continuing the storyline from, I believe it was Collision, where FTR answered the call to No One Can Beat Us against the Blackpool Combat Club. I really enjoyed this match. Macho Savage thought it was boring. I didn't think this match was boring at all, and I don't think the crowd did either. The crowd was going ballistic for this. Just an awesome back and forth chop battle, and I'm not sure how you could have thought that was boring, man. I don't understand. But you know, everybody can have their own opinion. I'm never gonna fault you for it. But I thought this was an incredible match. Dax kisses Mox and then just tees off on him at the beginning of the match. I thought it was great. There was a one spot in this match where they just started absolutely paintbrush slapping each other. And I mean, if you've ever had a slap boxing match with one of your friends and accidentally hit too hard or gotten hit too hard, it looked like every single slap was just full force, like whap, 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 whap. I mean, it was whew. Really good spot by Moxley. He hits an RKO out of nowhere, then hits a curb stomp afterwards, and then a pile driver at the end. Only gets a 2 count. I was absolutely shocked. Dax Harwood he hits his sheer drop brain buster after that. Only gets a 2 count as well. But Moxley, as always, locks in that rear naked choke and picks up the W here, gets Dax to tap out. I thought this match was great. Great opening match. I thought everything about this match was fantastic. I might have to watch it again just to see like where you could be coming from on the boring. I have no idea. But yeah, this was great. Moxley would not let go of the rear naked choke afterwards, causing Cash Wheeler to come to the rescue and absolutely pummel Moxley for what felt like an eternity. He was beating Moxley's ass in the middle of the ring there. But then Claudio showed up out of nowhere and absolutely destroyed Cash. So this was great. We got BCC chants after all of this. The crowd was very much behind the Blackpool Combat Club, as heel as they may be. What's up, Coog? That main event was nuts. Lots of haters eating crow right now. Dude, even me. I was a Matt Taven hater, bro. Do you think Dax has boring matches? I can understand you just don't like Dax, but that was a good match, man. I really do think that was a good match. I'd be surprised if it gets anything less than 3.5. I don't really care about stars anymore, but throwing that out there. Next up, we had Renee Paquette with the Don Callis family. We had Takeshita, Will Hobbs, and Don Callis. And Don Callis explains that Takeshita has no challengers. He's so good that nobody wants to face him. And the same with Will Hobbs. What up, Matthew Holland, X-Pac? Come on. Couldn't you even at least hit me with like a Rick Boogs or something? Boogs, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about X-Pac. Did he ever have just a mustache? Even as the 1-2-3 kid, I don't think he did. I don't know. I think he had a goatee. But nevertheless, this was actually a great promo by Callis here. I actually really enjoyed him explaining how like nobody wants to face Will Hobbs and nobody wants to face Takeshita. That's why like they really aren't on TV much is kind of the way I took it. This was fantastic. So Don Callis said, you know what? I'm going to look within the family and I'm going to have 2 of my family members wrestle, and it's going to be Will Ospreay versus Takeshita at Revolution. Oh my. Takeshita versus Ospreay. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be absolute. That's going to be creme de la creme professional wrestling. I cannot wait. Right, Michael Duke? Rick Boogs had a mustache. That's why I was saying you couldn't hit me with the Rick Boogs or something like that, But it is what it is. This was great. I actually really, really enjoyed this segment. Normally, right now, I want Don Callis to go away. But the nice explanation he gave for Hobbs not facing anyone and Ospreay versus Takeshita. I'll take that any day of the week, please. Next up, Wardlow absolutely destroys some guy named Barrett Brown. Adam Cole did come out for the commentary here. He came out on commentary for a little while. Didn't actually say anything because he was sitting next to Tony Schiavone and he refused to speak, is what it seemed like. Wardlow, I thought his knee was absolutely destroyed after what we saw a week or 2 ago. Very, very, very happy to see that Wardlow. It felt like this was him making a point of like, my knee is fine. He picked this dude up for a powerbomb, held him as high as you can over your head, and walked in a circle around the ring. I would agree that with Wardlow saying his knee is fine. It is what it is. I'm very, very, very happy that his knee is good to go. And, you know, I'm glad. I can't say that I'm glad that they did this like demonstration of like, look, his knee is cool. Because, I mean, what if it wasn't? What if there was like a small tear or something in there? But, I mean, I'm sure they did their due diligence. I'm not going to doubt any of the medical team. So this was a good squash match. Wardlow looks insane right now. He is absolutely jacked. So guys like him should be getting a couple of squash matches here and there. But I'm very interested to see where this storyline is going with Wardlow and the Undisputed Kingdom. And now I can't say I'm not into the Undisputed Kingdom. I'm into Wardlow. So take that for what you will. Not sure I could explain that very well, but it is what it is. Wardlow's knee looked good, so very happy about that. Next up, we had Adam Copeland versus Daniel Garcia in a absolutely fantastic match. This was really, really good. Adam Copeland, I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was Garcia. Pretty sure it was both of them. This was incredible. Their chemistry felt like they had been wrestling each other for years. Absolutely loved it. Copeland was targeting Daniel Garcia's arm. Garcia was targeting Copeland's knee. There was an insane avalanche impaler to Garcia from the top rope. That was insane. But towards the end of the match, before we could get a winner, the Patriarch attacks. The Patriarch jumps into the ring and absolutely annihilates Adam Copeland. They annihilate Garcia as well. Daddy Magic on the outside tries to get involved. He gets obliterated by Kill Switch. Garcia gets choke slammed. Copeland takes a chair, takes everybody out, but then he gets low blowed by Mother Wayne, which, got to admit, it looked really good. Mother Wayne's low blow on Copeland looked fantastic from behind. And Copeland takes a concerto. Nick Wayne has a really funny shirt on, says Christian is my father. I think we need to get that shirt, all of us. He is all of our father. This was a fantastic segment. This was everything that it needed to be to continue this Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage storyline. You thought that was boring too, dude? I don't know, man. I don't understand. I thought this match was awesome. Daniel Garcia was great. Christian Cage was looking great. Were you in a bad mood tonight? I think something was bothering you. Come on, you can open up. You can tell us. We're just what is it? 6 viewers. We're just our own little small group right here. You know, you can let it out, man. Mama Wayne's low blow on Valentine's Day. You're right, Coog. I forgot to mention Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I always forget about holidays when I'm doing the show. Hope everybody had a decent Valentine's Day. But I loved this. Once Christian Cage came out and the Patriarchy was out here, this turned into a top-notch segment after that. Absolutely loved it. Nick Wayne's shirt is hilarious. I really hope that's for sale. That might be one of the first shirts I buy off of the website in a while. I like buying all my shirts at the live events. So it's rare I buy one off of the store. Christian is my father. Love it. Next up, there was a recap of the Hangman Swerve match, and there was an emphasis of the "you didn't beat me" from Hangman. So I think they're going to run with what I was talking about, where Swerve can possibly win that AEW championship from Samoa Joe. And if he pins Samoa Joe, that proves what Samoa Joe said tonight wrong, which we'll get to in a little bit. Which we'll get to here in just a second, actually. And that proves that Hangman, that he still hasn't beaten Hangman. So Hangman will still be able to say, "You never beat me," leading to a match between those two. And Samoa Joe, in the next segment, Samoa Joe comes out. Here, let's just go right into it. So Samoa Joe comes out for the next segment here. He gets on the mic in the ring, and he claims to have reenacted the ranking system. So Samoa Joe is claiming to be responsible for bringing the ranking system back. I'm not sure if that's like a canon thing, but hopefully they run with it. I do like that. He said, "I wanted a ranking system to prove my opponent's worth." And I just love the way that Joe speaks like a king. You know, he called himself the king of television for a while. It just makes a lot of sense for someone like him, you know, the king of television. I really like it. So in the middle of his promo, Swerve Strickland comes out and cuts an absolutely incredible promo. I was blown away by Hangman here in this. I'm not Hangman, I'm sorry, by Swerve here. The crowd is absolutely loving every minute of Swerve being on the television. I guess that doesn't make sense. The crowd's seeing him live. The crowd was loving every minute of Swerve being there live. I was loving every minute of him being on my television. Swerve Strickland absolutely needs to win that triple threat match. I will be immensely disappointed if Swerve does not pick up the victory at Revolution. He's gotta. I mean, Revolution is it in February, guys? When is Revolution? Can someone hit me with the date of Revolution, because I really hope it's in February for, you know, Black History Month. He wants to be the first Black AEW champion. I think it's all set up. You know, it's one of those things that might be predictable, but it's one of the things that it should be, I guess. Is that what I would say? March 3rd? Damn it. You could still kind of, you know. Thank you, Michael. Still, he's looking awesome right now. Swerve looked absolutely fantastic on the mic here. Hangman comes out. No music, by the way. Swerve came out to his music with Prince Nana, the dance, everything. And Hangman comes out, no music, just interrupting like, "Oh, no, 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 no." He's like, "You couldn't beat me, and last week was horse shit." Tell Swerve he couldn't get the job done and he doesn't belong in the match. And Samoa Joe, I mean, in one of my favorite, I think, endings to any promo segment ever, Samoa Joe just interrupts the both of them arguing. And he's like, "Listen, it doesn't matter what you think or what you think." He's like, "You think you're going to pin him and take my title? You think you're going to pin him and take my title?" He's like, "I'm whooping both your asses." Drops the mic and walks out. I was like, yes. They play Joe's music as he walks out. Joe is the one standing tall here after Swerve had a unreal promo. I mean, you got to go to Twitter and check out this promo from Swerve. It was fan-fucking-tastic. And then just the way that Joe closes out this segment, 10 out of 10. I don't think you could have written that any better. It was just great. Macho says, "Samoa Joe, good for TV. Swerve needs the title. Anyone but Adam Page to win. All Adams are boring." Oh, man, I can't agree with you on that one. I love my Hangman, but Hangman does need to lose this for sure. Adam's completely ignoring the fact that he didn't win the match either. I know, that's the funny part. He's like, "You couldn't beat me," and it's like, you couldn't beat him either. But you could also say that Hangman was playing for that. He was like wrestling to not lose instead of to win. You know what I mean? So that he could claim this. I don't know. That's a stretch. But absolutely love the end of this segment. The way that this segment ended was just 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. Next up was time. Excuse me. It was time for Timeless Toni Storm and her new movie, I guess they were calling it, or her new film, Wet Ink. And it turned out to be about the tattoo on her ankle. And it was her laying on a tattoo table getting what looked like it was getting touched up. I thought she was having the tattoo like redone because it looks pretty faded. But instead, they showed the finished result. And she got like a knife stabbing through it. And I think this is legit. I think she actually got this tattoo. Hence the wet ink thing. I really, really, really liked this. Maybe because I'm a tattoo guy, like I'm covered in tattoos. You can't really see many of them, but I really enjoyed this. This was a really fantastic segment. Obviously, I love every Toni Storm segment. You know, you got me there if you're going to throw that at me. I think Toni Storm's character is one of the greatest things in women's wrestling history at this point. The character just gets more and more ridiculous by the week. She has nailed this what would you call this, Coog? 1930s, 1940s character. She has just nailed this black and white actress she's just nailed this character so well. Mariah May being there with her is absolutely incredible. Incredible addition to the roster. You know, what else can you say right now? Toni Storm is just absolutely on fire. I still don't think we've given Luther enough credit for, I don't know whose idea this was to throw Luther into this spot where he is her butler. But I mean, is it not perfect? Does it not just absolutely fit as well as anything could fit? I mean, it's a square peg in the square hole. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have tried telling me, like, okay, guess what? We're going to take Luther, that crazy dude that screams and yells, and he's going to become Toni Storm's butler. I'd have been like, you're going to what? I'd have thought you were crazy. And here we are. This dude's nailing the character. I love when he gets involved in the matches. You know what I mean? It's just, I just want Luther to get a nice shout out because I feel like that's one of the more underrated parts of this character that's going on right now. Absolutely love what Luther's doing. Deonna Purrazzo responds to the tattoo. And basically it looked like she was almost going to cry, to be honest. She had to like hold back tears for the interview. I don't know if that was a shoot or what, but she was just like, Toni, I'm going to break your arm, bitch. And it kind of reminded me of some Ronda Rousey type shit. So I liked it. Can't wait to see Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm. I gotta be honest, as much as I love Toni Storm and as much as I love this character, I really, 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 really want Deonna Purrazzo to win this women's championship. I feel like that would just be a massive W right now. She's incredible. Deonna Purrazzo is incredible. Next up, it was Nicholas and Matthew Jackson arriving to the arena in their still bloodied suits. My goodness. They're still wearing the white suits from Darby Allin's bloody wreck of a match. And it's the Young Bucks versus Top Flight. And listen, I've always been critical of Top Flight. They're very young. They try to push these guys off for a long time as, I don't want to say like as seasoned talent, but they tried to make us. This is going to sound like I'm knocking on these guys. I'm very much not. I feel like they tried to put these guys higher up on the pedestal than they should have been. I don't want to get roasted for this, but I'm probably going to. Why does that say Collision? It should say Dynamite. But I think Top Flight is finally reaching that level that they've always wanted us to see them at, if that makes any sense. This match was fan-freaking-tastic. Trying to fix this here. Boom, boom. There we go. I actually really, really, really enjoyed this match. Top Flight looked incredible here. It was very nice to see these guys back, not trying to go insane and, just go overboard with the flying high moves and stuff like that. I think this may have been, in my opinion, because I was very critical of these guys, I think this might have been Top Flight's best match. Let me know what you guys think, but I really think that may have been the best match that we have seen from Top Flight. It took a massive low blow from Matt while the ref's back was turned. After the low blow, we got the EVP trigger for the 1-2-3. I loved it. I loved the match. Top Flight, I think, has finally graduated to that level that they've wanted them to be at, I used to think they belonged on Ring of Honor, and now I will say that I do believe they belong on Dynamite and possibly, Rampage and Collision. Give me they can be all over the place. I'm cool with it now. They absolutely turned me around here tonight. I thought Top Flight looked incredible, and I hope they both stay nice and healthy. So Top Flight would do well with a CMLL excursion. I agree, Coog, but I feel like oh man, I want to keep our AEW talent in-house right now. I don't know why. Bring the other guys in, but I need to keep our guys here. I don't want to see anybody getting hurt outside of AEW. It's, I don't know. Feels like a weird thing to say, but after the match, Nick gets on the mic and cuts a pretty good promo, actually. On here, where's my note? Where am I at on my notes? No, Matt gets on the mic with Tony Schiavone, and he says that they are now the number one contenders. So I'm not sure if they use their EVP poll to make themselves the number one contenders, or if it was because of all the wins that they've had so far this year. They racked up a bunch of wins back to back to back these last few weeks. So maybe that's what it was. But they put a graphic up on the screen of the Young Bucks being the number one contenders. And they tried to EVP trigger Tony Schiavone. I thought they were going to do it. So Nick basically chest bumps Tony Schiavone and knocks him down. And then they both reach out their hands to help pick him up. When they go to pick him up, they hold him down for the EVP trigger. I thought we were going to see Tony Schiavone get murdered tonight. But just before it could happen, the lights go out and Darby comes out and makes the save. Darby gets on the mic and cuts an absolutely unreal promo on the Bucks, on them hiring their friends. It's all friends wrestling. You know, the California kids, you know, all of that jazz. He threw all of it at him. I mean, he absolutely buried the Young Bucks here. And I thought it was incredible. Darby's promo was 10 out of 10. Absolutely fabulous. And he basically, there was never really a challenge by the Young Bucks for for Sting's last match. But Darby basically accepted the Young Bucks as Sting's last match. So it looks like we're going to have them versus Sting and Darby, Revolution. I can't imagine anything better. I think the Young Bucks have been a big part of Sting being here in AEW. I think they've been good friends backstage, like in the, in the behind the scenes world, the business end of it. So I think that's a very good match for the Bucks and for Sting and Darby. For Sting to go out, for the Bucks to get the titles back with these new douchebag characters of theirs. Absolutely love these characters of theirs, by the way. Wrestling in the white bloody suits, by the way. I'm just going to say, I really hope those suits were like sterilized somehow, because if you don't know, blood when it dries becomes what's called friable, means that when it dries, it turns into a crispy substance, and when it cracks, it floats off into the air. And like stuff can get into like your eyes, and that's gross. Hope they did something to those jackets. But next up, it was Renee Paquette with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. This was a great segment. Just occurred to me that everyone in the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is holding a belt. All 6 of them are champions. I think they're all trios champions. I'm sure it's occurred to me before, but it was funny. The light bulb dinged. I was like, oh, look at that. Everybody's got gold. Nobody has to turn on each other. You know what I mean? So that was pretty good. And it looks like there's going to be a 12-man tag on Rampage. We'll go over what's going to happen on Rampage and Collision here in a bit. Technically, there won't be a collision, but we'll get to that. Next up, Willow Nightingale with Staten Stoke. That's Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. I call him Staten Stoke. I don't know why. I think it's funny. Why can't I move over here? That's why. This was a great match. Willow Nightingale versus Sky Blue. Excellent match. Sky Blue looks incredible in her new dark Sky Black character, or whatever you want to call it. Came out with Julia Hart. To my surprise, though, so Stokely Hathaway was on commentary for this match. Stokely Hathaway, he sees that Sky Blue is about to hit the code red. He jumps up on the apron as she hits the code red and casts distraction on Aubrey. He rolls a 20 on it, so absolutely was successful. Aubrey, she's already weak to distraction magic anyway. So no count on the code blue. Well, actually a 1 count, but it was basically a 10 count. She was distracted by Stokely Hathaway. She drops down for the 1 count. Willow Nightingale actually gets up and hits a doctor bomb out of nowhere for the 1, 2, 3 and picks up the win. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm happy Willow Nightingale won, but isn't this like a heel victory? Is Willow gonna go heel with Stokely? Or is Stokely gonna drive a wedge between Willow and Statlander? Like, not exactly sure where they're going with this, but I did love the match. Sky Blue looked great. Willow Nightingale looked great. But, Sky Blue is the heel, and she lost to a heel tactic. It was just a little like, okay, what are we doing here? And remember, with AEW, the traditional wrestling mindset doesn't have to pertain to every single match. So, let's just see where they go with it. I'm still very invested in this Julia Hart TBS championship down here. Can't wait to see where that goes. Willow's going to be after it. Maybe Willow and Statlander fight each other over the TBS championship coming here soon. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. But Willow picks up the victory, heel victory again. And next up, it was time for the main event, a Texas death match. Knockout or submission only. Orange Cassidy versus Matt Taven. And once again, Mr. Matt Taven, I must issue an apology for all the negative things that I've said over the years. This match was incredible. Orange Cassidy, who some people just brush off as a joke, as comedy wrestling. Matt Taven, who a lot of people are like, that dude's terrible. This match was unreal. I barely wrote any notes because I couldn't look away from the screen. I felt like if I looked away to write some notes down that I was going to miss something awesome. And I probably did, even when I did write down the few things that I wrote down. We had a table spot out of nowhere. Orange Cassidy dropped onto a table. It doesn't quite break all the way. Thank you for the shout out, by the way, Taven. So Taven sets the table up, still kind of broken, up on the guardrail, and puts Orange Cassidy through it again. And by this point, Cassidy is busted open, and he starts bleeding badly. I was surprised Orange Cassidy was taking such a large bump this close to Revolution. I don't know if it was hard way or if he bladed. If anybody caught a blade spot, let me know. Not sure if it was during the picture-in-picture commercial, but lots of color on Orange Cassidy's face. Matt Taven sets up another table. Thank you again for the shout out, Mr. Matt Taven. And Taven keeps on trying to put Orange Cassidy through this table, which is set up on the announcer's table at a 45-degree angle. And I don't know if the announcers knew that this was coming. I really don't think they knew this was coming at all. And it really added to the spot. It did, but might have been a little dangerous for somebody like Tony Schiavone to try to get out of the way. So Taven goes to do a front flip over the top rope, trying to basically land on Orange Cassidy and go through the table. Cassidy dives out of the way, and Matt Taven just goes through this table face first. It looked absolutely disgusting. My first thought, I was like, Matt Taven's dead. But then he started moving around, and he gave the okay. I'm fine. The table, when it broke, annihilated the announcer's table. It sent everything on the table into the announcers. I think the table cover got thrown into the announcers' chests. They all jumped up. Their headsets went flying. It took a moment before anybody's headset was working again. I love when something like that happens. It seems like, oh, another production miscue. And I'm like, no. That added to it. I love that their headsets got knocked off because the match got so crazy. You know what I mean? Like, imagine in basketball, you're listening to the game on the radio. Imagine listening to a basketball game on the radio, and you hear the announcers, and Shaquille O'Neal going to get the ball. Oh, it's going outside for a rebound. And you hear the dudes just get fucking annihilated. Right? I'd be like, that was the coolest thing I've ever heard. I'm just throwing it out there. I actually thought it added to it. Really liked it. Matt Taven crashing and burning through that table. What a great spot. I mean, makes me really want to go back to my days of making the Broken Table of the Week video. I really should put together a video for those broken table spots here tonight. But just too much going on with the baby coming and work. Orange Cassidy finds a Valentine's Day gift under the ring, and it says to OC from Chuck E. T. It's a nice heart-shaped chocolate box, and inside is my worst enemy. Thumbtacks all over the middle of the ring. Orange Cassidy with a beach break. There was a huge this spot has me so queasy. I forget how it went. Okay, so Orange Cassidy goes for a superplex off of the top rope. I think he just gets pushed off the top ropes onto his back. I forget what happened here. I had to look away. I literally have a thing with thumbtacks where they make me squirm in my chair. But there was a beach break onto a chair that was on top of the tacks. Orange Cassidy pulled out a giant chain from out of nowhere. Mike Bennett came to interfere. Trent comes out for the save. That's where the chair came from. There was a beach break onto the chair. An orange punch with the chain wrapped around his hand for the KO. And a 10 count. The crowd was going absolutely bananas for this. I'm sorry I didn't do the end of that justice, but the tacks got me. I literally squirm in my chair when the tacks show up. I probably missed a good 30 seconds of the end of the match. Everybody's got their thing, right? Yeah, Matt Taven diving stomach first onto the tacks. I think that was the beginning of me looking away. Taven tried to do a frog splash, and when he sat up, they were in his stomach. That's when I looked away, and I was like, ah! Made that exact sound. Yeah, Orange Cassidy wins via knockout. Orange punch with a giant chain wrapped around his fist for a 10 count. What an unbelievable main event. Matt Taven. Sorry, my brother. Sorry. Take it all back. That was incredible. I don't know what else to say. Wrestling is just fun again, man. Like, listen, if you're into the WWE storylines that play with your emotions using like psychology of, hey, look at our good guy, blah, 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 oh, he didn't win, oh, he didn't win, oh, he didn't win, oh my God, oh, he's going to finally win. If that's you, that's you. But this is wrestling, man. Like, they're telling soap opera stories over there. This was just absolute unbelievable wrestling 101. You know, if we were just going to like introduce someone to wrestling and be like, what should a wrestling show look like? I'd be like, as a matter of fact, the newest episode is a perfect example. Here you go. This is what wrestling should look like. You know, there was plenty of storyline mixed into all of this here tonight. Everything had a reason behind it. Everything made sense. I love Dynamite right now. Dynamite is absolutely on, I think, a 3-week roll of being top-notch, episodes of the show. The Coog says, thank the Lucha Gods for AEW. Amen, man. The CMLL partnership that's going on. I don't know how deep this runs with that company, but it's really paying off. There wasn't any of the CMLL guys here tonight, but just the Lucha partnership in general with AEW. Just Toni loves wrestling, period. Like, you name a style, Toni's got it on the roster. I mean, can you guys think of any type of a style that Toni doesn't have on the roster? You go deathmatch Jon Moxley, you go, I mean, Lucha, there's plenty, and there's every style of Lucha as well. I mean, my God, look at that Hechicero guy, man. That Hechicero guy, that dude would be an incredible addition to the roster. Macho says, the garbage indie style is fun to watch. The clean-cut wrestling is boring. Have you seen the gimmick WWE tables where they break in the middle? Yeah, they use those boards that are already like half cut through. I don't like calling it the garbage indie style, man. It's not, it is wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, AEW style, like, is professional wrestling. It's not the garbage indies. GCW is the garbage indies. AEW is professional wrestling. WWE is the one that has like their own style. They're the ones that have to send you to the performance center before they let you in the ring so that they can make sure you understand the WWE format and style. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Do you guys agree with me on this? Like, I'm not trying to knock on you here, Savage. I just, you use it every once in a while for AEW, and I'm just like, man, I really don't feel like AEW is in that realm at all. AEW is absolutely the alternative to WWE, and AEW is absolutely like professional wrestling. You know what I mean? And WWE is the one that has their own unique style. They may have been the ones that are like number one for a long time, but that doesn't give them the right to say that that's the style for professional wrestling. So I don't know. Maybe. Coog says, where do we hold the Forbidden Door this year? Coog says Texas for the CMLL fan draw. Coog, I have a feeling it's going to be in Arizona. I have a feeling they may go after that big ass stadium in Arizona. The people in Arizona were chanting, we want a pay-per-view, I think. And I think Tony Khan went out there and said, I think you do too. So, yeah. Right now, that's exactly how I feel. The indies are the indies, WWE is WWE, and AEW is pro wrestling. Yep. And New Japan is pro wrestling too. I think TNA is pro wrestling as well. So don't get me confused on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah, Phoenix, Coog, absolutely. Like where they were just a couple weeks ago. I think that's where our Forbidden Door pay-per-view should be. Arlington, Texas would be a good one for All In, Michael Duke says. Maybe. More like All Out. All In's already going to be at Wembley again. Maybe that year after, but I think they're going to do that as a yearly thing at Wembley every year. It's going to be wild. All right, so I thought that was a great episode of Dynamite. Unbelievable match to go off the air with. Can't believe I'm saying that about a Matt Taven match. And I'll even say before the match came on, when Matt Taven came out, I was just kind of like, oh, this is going to be rough, but here we go. Hopefully Orange Cassidy can carry the match. And Taven held his weight just as well as anyone I've ever seen. So, again, have to apologize to Matt Taven for any negative I have been saying. That was fantastic. All right, well, I think that is going to do it. Before I get out of here, let's go ahead and see what we got going on for Rampage and Collision. Now, I do believe Collision has been canceled for this week. I shouldn't say canceled, but there is no Collision this week. There's going to be a special start time for Rampage. Rampage is starting at 7/6 Central. So 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if it's running long. But I will say that there's a match that I am absolutely not excited for. I think Rome would absolutely rip this match to shreds here if he saw this. AEW Rampage, Jeff Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. No disqualification. Listen. In a world where both of these guys are still over, fuck yeah. I'll take that match. Like, Jeff Hardy just arrived at AEW pre DUI, post Darby Allin match. Hell yeah. Why right now? How does this match make any sense? Where did it come from? Why is Jeff Hardy facing Sammy Guevara? Why is it no disqualification? In my opinion, no disqualification should be a stipulation used when two guys have tried everything else, besides the cage match, obviously. It's usually for like match 2 or 3 at, where did this match come from? This is one of those ones where, all right, listen, as a booker, is this a great match on paper if these guys were both over? Yeah. Are they over right now? No. Is it too late? Probably. Like, Nat says, I will not watch it. Michael Duke says that should be a good one. Macho says Jeff and Sammy a must watch. You guys are crazy. They will come up with some crazy spots. I hope they do. I hope they prove me wrong, just like Matt Taven did. We'll have to see. I mean, there's definitely something in me that says there's a chance that's a banger. But Jeff is cooked. I'll be the first one to admit it. He has had 2 or 3 weeks of great matches. I will admit that. No disqualification should be anywhere. Anything goes. Yeah, it's going to be anything and anywhere, I'm sure. Listen, it might be an absolute banger. I'm not saying it's not going to be savage. It's just like right now, neither of these guys are over. Like, ever since Jeff has come back, it's just not really hitting, the same old Jeff Hardy character. I really wanted to see Willow come. Broken Matt and Willow would have been a great addition to the tag team division right now. But we'll see. Yeah, 10 years ago, this would have been insane. Even, like I said, even when Jeff first arrived in AEW, Remember that match he had with Darby Allin with the chair spot? I mean, I have a video. If you go back into our video section, you can scroll down and you'll see Jeff Hardy standing up on top of a giant fucking window. Check that video out. That was amazing. If you would have gave me Jeff versus Sammy then, I'm all in. They were both very over and still doing their thing. Sammy's doing what? I don't even know what Sammy's doing. He's being a geek for Jericho again, I think. And Jeff's just not hitting, you know? Like, I thought his matches were good over the last couple weeks. I'll give him that. Just is what it is, you know? All right, let's see. What else do we got? Come on, give me some Rampage. Queen Aminata versus Anna Jay. Okay. Hopefully, Queen Aminata picks up a victory here. I really would not like to see her. I feel like she's 0-3 on the year already. Maybe 0-4. Nah, that's exactly what I said. How did this match come to be, and how is it a no disqualification? Usually no disqualification is something happened between these two guys where there has to be a no disqualification because they want to kill each other, you know? But I digress. Queen Aminata versus Anna Jay. I absolutely hope Queen Aminata picks up a victory here. They did do a special interview with Queen Aminata on YouTube. Check that out on the AEW channel. I'm very happy to see that. So I think they know that we like her. They're definitely listening to the fans that Queen Aminata is an absolute hit with the fans. See, what else do we got? I think that's all I'm seeing so far. More Queen Aminata, Anna Jay. Everybody's very hyped for that one. Let's see. Hardy and Guevara. That's the only two matches announced, it looks like, so far. So far, the only thing announced is Sammy Guevara and Jeff Hardy and Queen Aminata and Anna Jay. Now, like I said, Collision, I don't believe there is going to be a Collision. We have the NBA All-Star Weekend. So they're just wait until next Saturday. Oh yeah, Nat, didn't they play? They did say something about that 12-man tag match during Dynamite. They had the Bang Bang Gang. So that should be our third match. There should be a 12-man tag match with the Bang Bang Gang versus... Who could they face in another 6-man? What 6-man could there be? The only other faction that's that large is possibly Undisputed Kingdom? No. Maybe the Mobile Embassy, but I don't even think they have enough members. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe just a hodgepodge of dudes mashed together. Yeah, TK just going to play some universe mode on that one. I just saw that in that. All right, well, I think that is going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you guys very much for joining me here while I rock this solo. My voice seemed to not enjoy this at first, but it kind of mellowed out there in the middle. Thank you guys for dealing with just me without Rome here tonight. But we will be back next week for Dynamite again. No Collision on Saturday. There is no Collision. I might do something on Friday for Rampage. We might. We'll see. Don't know. Maybe. But thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. It is always a pleasure to hang out here with you guys. Macho Savage throws down the peace sign. And with that being said, top guys out.